Omadino Community. Omadino Community fought INEC proposed election of Warri Federal Constituency. Reject the deliberate yanking of Itsekiris territories and crediting sale to Ijaws and Urhobos of Warri, and the deliberate and illegal erasure of Itsekiris presence from their God-given territories. We fought the creation of Okeneboko ward and the composition of Egwa ward. We demand at least 5 electoral wards for Omadino territories. Gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we the leaders and people of Omadino community have convened this press conference, particularly for the attention of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and his board of directors, as well as the general public, particularly as it pertains to recent release and very audacious proposal of 4th April 2025 for the decision of the Warri Federal Constituency by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. As we already aware, the Supreme Court of Nigeria in the year 2022 gave an order compelling INEC to embark on a fresh definition of all the electoral ward and polling units in the Warri Federal Constituency, comprising of the 3 LGAs of Warri North, Warri South, and Warri Southwest of Delta State, respectively. It must be noted that the suit leading to the Supreme Court order of 2022 was not an appeal against any previous court judgment and can never be appealed against any previous Supreme Court judgment, because we have several Supreme Court judgments which have made a pronouncement in favor of the Omadino people and in favor of the Itsekiris, which give us a title deed of ownership of the whole land that we are talking about today under the overlordship of the Olu of Warri. As you are already aware, the Supreme Court of Nigeria in the year 2022 gave an order compelling INEC to embark on a fresh delineation of all the electoral ward and polling units in the Warri Federal Constituency, comprising of the 3 LGAs, Warri North, Warri South, and Warri Southwest in Delta State. It must be noted that the suit leading to this Supreme Court order of 2022 was not an appeal against any previous court judgment in Warri, and therefore can never be used as a pretext to disregard previous court judgment over portions of the Warri Federal Constituency. Some even Supreme Court judgments which are in favor of Omadino community and the larger Itsekiris ethnicity. Any implementation of the Supreme Court order, therefore, that will not take into cognizance of previous order of the same Supreme Court can only therefore be seen as an attempt to legalize illegality in the Warri Federal Constituency and say will be registered. Let me bring you back. We have people committing press briefing, trying to address INEC over the word delineation and unit. Omadino community is the only community in Warri Kingdom that have boundary across the 3 Warri local governments. We are in Warri South, we spread across Warri Southwest, Warri North. In the Warri Southwest, we have boundary with Borodo, which is Escravos. In Warri North, we have boundary with Oko and Ibaboro community. Now, we have several court judgments. Even we have acquisition, land acquisition that we did with Chevron, which then share, which is duly signed by Omadino community indigenes all over Baramatu. Go to Egwa. If you go to acquisition data, you will see Omadino people. They sign all those documents on behalf of Omadino community. So where are the job of Baramatu then? Enyogbe, Egwatie, Egwakoro, Kokri. We are communities. But during the Warri crisis, we were invaded. Number 4, Any violation of the Supreme Court order, therefore, that do not take into cognizance of previous order of the same Supreme Court can only therefore be seen as an attempt to legalize illegality in the Warri Federal Constituency, and say we will resist it, we do everything to resist it. It will interest you to note that for over 21 years, beginning from 2003, there was the judgment in suit number FHC/B/109/1997 between Dr. Joseph Otumara and 8 others versus Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and 4 others in favor of the Itsekiris people on the ward structure and number in Warri South local government area, which said judgment declared 12 wards illegal and 10 wards and 10 legal, and up to this moment INEC never implemented the judgment, while at the same time pretending to be a law abiding commission. Now in the past, the never existed, even over territories that have been litigated over up to same Supreme Court. Neither did the court order translate or empower INEC to yank away our land and credited sale to the Ijaws or Urhobos of Warri Federal Constituency. We have a lot of Supreme Court judgment that gave title deed to the Itsekiris people and to Omadino people. So if INEC pretend to be a law-abiding commission, why not go into those documents and try to do the needful according to the rule of law? Why trying to join hands with the enemies of the Itsekiris, the Ijaws and Urhobos of Warri Federal Constituency, to now wanted to take the Itsekiris people into the decision to say no to it? We will not allow it. God never ordered INEC to make itself a palm in the hand of those who consider the Itsekiris ethnicity as their enemy. Neither did the Supreme Court order INEC to be a party to the desperate attempt by our neighbors and customary tenants to dominate the Itsekiris people in their own and only land. It's our place. We have no other place. The Ijaws of Bayelsa, producer of the Massachusetts INEC proposal, will reveal the deliberate yanking of polling units and territories adjudicated to be Itsekiris land and crediting word within same to placate the echo of the Baramatu Ijaws people. This can be seen as in the case of Bolwa Ama, Enwe, and Ogbijo Warri ward proposed within Warri South local government area. Similarly, pattern can be observed across the other part of the Warri Federal Constituency, where we is known as the Itsekiris land. Now Ogbijo is in Warri Southwest. We now extended part of Warri Southwest to create unit and work in Warri South. How would that be happening? INEC should go and check their record very well. All those areas belong to Itsekiris people. And the same Warri classes they are using to dominate the Itsekiris people in that area is our land. So you cannot credit word or unit to person in another local government to be established in another local government. We do not accept it. Polling units within Omadino territories, particularly those in Itsekiris and Otele, were systematically yanked from Omadino ward and credited to the Urhobos political influence in faraway Ogun ward in Warri Urban, all in a bid to bring our land aside of political influence. Now, Pocket is just behind us here. Otele is behind us. These are people that are dwelling in Omadino community land. Here in Ward 1, in Warri South government, riverine area, INEC now systematically remove them because those two units are Urhobo speaking unit. Meanwhile, we have a lot of Itsekiris who live in that area who also registered as a voters register in that place. They now move it now to Ogunu, which is urban ward in Warri South. What are the geographical, relationship that make INEC now transmit existing units that exists in a particular word, they create it and carry it to another word. We wanted to explain to us, but we said it will not happen. We have observed that in the selective implementation of court judgment by INEC, territories within Omadino land which were litigated over and over, which the Supreme Court has handed down judgment, INEC is now in the pretense of implementing a particular Supreme Court order, now completely disregard previous Supreme Court judgment, as if this 2022 order of the Supreme Court set aside all previous order of the same Supreme Court. In complete disregard of the decision of the Supreme Court of Nigeria in James Blumer and other versus Chief E.E. Silo and others, 1972, all Nigeria Law Report, second edition, volume 1, page 53, in terms of the name of Kerigo versus Okerekiko, people that arose therein and was considered and decided upon by the Supreme Court of Nigeria in favor of the name of Kerigo, which is Omadino Community. Now what happened? The case was adjudicated to the Supreme Court, and Omadino Community were given a title deed that the name in question is not Okerekiko, it's Okererigo, and the land is Omadino Community land. The judgment is there, reported. We check it. And reach the following conclusion. The evidence of the plaintiff and their witness as to the founding of Okererigo before me, in this case, is more credible than the defendant's evidence, and led me to the conclusion that Okererigo was founded by the plaintiff ancestor, and that the original ancestor of the defendant by name Akpata and his follower settled on the land with the permission of the plaintiff ancestor, and I found that he accepted his position as a customary tenant that I so do. That is the pronouncement of me. 3rd, 1969. We award clause as set at 125 naira to the respondent in this appeal. While the Supreme Court had adjudicated that the correct name of the community is Okererigo, same belonging to the people of Omadino Community, we now ask if the Supreme Court order of 2022 also enable INEC to engage in the naming of our territory as Okererigo. The said proposal is in fact the cancellation of name of existing Itsekiris communities and their names of paramount Ijaws communities, in most cases against across the Warri Federal Constituency, and this is so glaring. We have the Ijaws of paramount, the Ijaws of Ijaws and what's it called? Across all the Warri Federal Constituency, we have up to Supreme Court where title deeds given to the Itsekiris. So is INEC not aware of those Supreme Court judgments? If they don't have it, we present them with one. All this land belongs to Omadino, belongs to Itsekiris, and under the lordship of the Olu of Warri, nothing else. West, INEC seeks to create a ward in Egwa, the territory adjusted to belong to the people of Omadino Community, and went ahead to carefully create new polling units without registered voters in fishing camp where the paramount Ijaws people dominate, while completely excluding Itsekiris settlement within and around Egwa. Not one Itsekiris or Omadino settlement in and around Egwa got a new unit. Not a single one in the entire stretch around Egwa. This is a deliberate law to erase Itsekiris people from their own land. This is a program. Along for money, like I said before. We have cases that we have known, several cases. The acquisition of land done by share in that area is all done by Omadino Community. Not people want a geography that do what's it called in that place. So we have communities in that area that will stay before the Warri crisis, and they have consistently refused Omadino people to go back to their land. So we are still calling on the federal government that those land we have stayed before, we are dwelling that land, it's our fishing camp, and we are going back to that area. The government that is sponsoring the job of Paramount against the nation. We are right there, nothing will happen. If they want to kill us, we will die. But remember, you that want to kill, remember that you also can also be killed. We are not specific and unambiguous in altering the delineation of electoral ward and polling units. Therefore, any purported delineation that does not take into cognizance the registered voters in polling units and ward cannot be said to be in line with the spirit and letters of the said order, and same will be rejected ethnicity, and thereby contributed to the integrity question suffered by them. More in the last 2 years than it has foreclosed to its 3 decades since its establishment. The population of Omadino Obodo ward alone far outnumber the population of the entire Baramatu kingdom. The population of Omadino Obodo ward far outnumber, not only Baramatu kingdom, Baramatu, Ijaws, Egbema put together, our population outnumber them. Omadino Obodo ward alone far outnumber the population of the entire Baramatu kingdom put together. Yet, Omadino ward, comprising of mega towns like Ibeji, Ife, Egbokodo, Omadino, Obodo, and host of many others, all got lumped into a single ward. Single ward. You know the city I'm talking about. Go to Ife, you see population. Go to Ibeji, go to Egbokodo, Ajeta, Omadino, Obodo, Orere, name it. These are mega cities, well populated compared to Baramatu. Yeah, they still belong to one word. Who does that? Of what statistics do you come up with what you are doing? That people with these numbers of voters, they are still lumped into one word. Why people who have lesser vote, you give them 10 words? You want to know the statistics, the rationale behind it. INEC tell us. The word made up of total registered voters of 10,939 is still lumped together in a single word. What still, Kuambe, equated word with total registered votes of 16,495 get a single word, while a certain Ewen word with just 2 polling units and 1,204 votes get a word as proposed by INEC. This matter before it degenerates into native war, but we are not going to accept it. We will not. What logic or formula would justify the creation of 3 electoral wards? Egborodoje, Enegwara, Otowodo, and Igudu, all for Igudu community alone, with a total voting strength of 19,838 voters, and the entire community in Obodo, Omadino, comprising communities like Ibeji, Egbokodo, Ife, Omadino, Obodo, Ajosoro, and many other Itsekiris communities, with a total voting strength of 15,000 voters, all lumped into a single ward. Is it because they are Itsekiris communities? Because of that, is it because we are Itsekiris? So in a bid to erase Itsekiris from their homeland, you now put us in one basket with 15,000 votes, while the people in the Gudu with 19,000 votes, we created 3 wards for them, just because we said no. Obodo need their ward. Ubeji need their ward. In fact, we need to do what? We can create 3 wards for a Gudu as a single community. The Obodo houses of the Obodo ward, or Omadino Obodo ward, we need 2 wards. The Ubeji houses of the man of the world, we need 2 wards to make it forward as against the one that we belong for, because we hate us. We therefore fought the procedure adopted by INEC in its entirety and called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all the relevant authorities to call INEC to order and impress it on the Commission to do the right thing in the interest of equity, justice, and fair play. Anything short of this will not be acceptable to the people of the Omadino Community and the larger community. We are ready and we are fully prepared to follow the path of the rule of law. But if the government will not respect the rule of law and do the needful. Whatever our enemies know to be doing better, we will join them to do more better than them. I so sorry. Thank you. God bless you. And we sojourn in Okerigo. As at when we are in Okerigo, nothing like Ijaws of Baramatu. The Ijaws of Baramatu came in about 150 years ago. As you can see, the history of Warri is very clear. We have 21st War of Warri now. And we were here before the arrival of the Ijaws first. And we have what we call assimilation. The Omadino people, the Urhobos people, the Reju people, the Nori, Okotomirigo. We have what we call assimilation with the first Olu of Warri, the first. The assimilation goes this way. He speaks our language, which is the combination of Igala, Yoruba language. And we accept him as the Olu of Warri. We pledge our loyalty to him. We accept him because he commands a spiritual power that will protect the people of this aborigine. So he is our king and we are his subjects. Whatever land that we have today is under the overlordship of the Olu of Warri, not anybody. Now let me clear the issue of Baramatu people. They are from Baram, the present day Bayelsa. They are not from this area. Even Ogbujo Ijaw is senior to Baramatu people. The Ogbujo people is senior to Baramatu people. These are people who came in as a result of fishing. Now we dwell in their houses, we stay in their houses. The Owozubri marry our daughter Erebu. That was how we gave part of that area for them to dwell and represent Omadino Community in collecting rent from fishermen. Are you hearing me? Collecting rent from fishermen does not make you the owner of the land. So it's a clear record. But the whole of Baramati, they are children of the Omadino community. They are our subjects. Omadino is the headquarters of Baramati. So it should not mislead or misinform the public. The Olu of Warri is the head of the Itsekiris government and remains Olu, and in his authority we own those lands. So it's a clear issue. Prayer to Omadino is the first. Even the Tombolo himself, the father in Egwa, the parent of Omadino, in fact, to an extent, our father used the father as a caretaker that used to collect money from other Ijaw people and remit to Omadino. So what is he talking about? We have receipts. We have documents. There is facts, historical, practical. That is why the Ijaw will never want us to go back to the creed. But we are appealing to the federal government, the state government. We must avoid confrontation. We should make sure that the Itsekiris people of Omadino and other Itsekiris people in the southwest go back to their own land. They have done the worst. They have killed people. They have destroyed life and property. They cannot do more than what they have done before. So we are not afraid. They cannot do what they have done before. They attack Omadino almost about in 4 occasions. So I'm still accusing the federal government because today they are using Tantita. It's the federal government that gives contract to Tantita that is directed by Tombolo. Now they are using to chase the Itsekiris people from the creek. In fact, Omadino is a victim. As I speak, Omadino is a victim. If you are giving me a job to do, other Itsekiris communities have been giving this Tantita job. Omadino was we are giving ghost allocation, not operational. They pay the seat at home. Now they now hire Ijaw and other Itsekiris communities to be patrolling our land. Who does that?